Hello my dear students, today we are going to learn Geography Standard 10 Navneet. Chapter number 3, Physiography and Drainage. Exercise. Question number 1, fill in the blanks with the appropriate option. Number 1, Brazil is covered mainly by dash, highlands. Question number 2, like Brazil, India too has dash, ancient plateaus. Number 3, the Amazon river basin is mainly dash, dense forest. Question number 4, Amazon is a large river in the world. Near its mouth, answer, no deltas are found. Question number 5, the Lakshadweep island of the Arabian Sea are dash, coral island. Question number 2, number 1, the foothills of the Aravallis lies the dash, Malwa Plateau. Question number 2, India is covered mainly by dash, ancient plateau. Number 3, dash is the northernmost range of Himalayas, Himadri. Question number 4, dash is the youngest range, Himalaya, Shivalik. Question number 5, the plain in Rajasthan are known as dash Thar. Question number 2, identify the correct group. Question number 1, the order of the physiographical units in Brazil while going from the northwest to southwest. Answer, Guiana Highlands, Amazon River Basins, Brazil Highlands. Question number 2, these rivers of the Brazil are known as are north flowing. Answer, Jurica, Zingo, Araguay. Question number 3, the order of the plateaus of India from south to north. Answer, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Bundelkhand. Question number 4, the following states of India consist of plateaus. Himachal, answer, Telangana, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Question number 5, Brazil highland is spread in the following state of Brazil: Sao Paulo, Goiás, Bahia. Question number 3, arrange the following in a correct order and complete the chain. Question number 1, physiographic division of India from north to south: the Himalayas, the northern plains, the Vindhyas, the Satapuras, Deccan Plateau. Question number 2, physiographical division of the Brazil from northwest to southwest. Answer, Guiana Island, Amazon Plains, Brazilian Highlands, the Great Escarpment. Arrange the sentence. Are the sentences right or wrong? Question number 1, Sundarban is the largest delta region in the world. Right. The slope of Punjab plains is towards east. Wrong. Question number 3, many west flowing rivers originated from the western Ghats from the delta regions near their mouths. Wrong. Question number 4, to the western side of the Aravallis lies the Ganga plains. Wrong. Question number 5, the rivers Ganga originated from the Yamunotri glacier. Wrong. Question number 5, arrange the following questions in one sentences each. Number 1, which major river system are included in a Himalayan drainage? Answer, Sindhu river system and Ganga. Question number 2, by which name is the desert region of Rajasthan known? Answer, the desert regions Rajasthan is known as the Thar desert or a Marusthali. Question number 3, through which state does the river Kaveri flow? Answer, river Kaveri flows through the state of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Question number 4, which are the main mountains range including in Himalayan mountain system? Answer, Karakoram, Ladakh, and Kailas mountain range. Question number 5. Which gulf are near the coastal areas of Gujarat? Answer: Gulf of Kutch and Gulf of Khambat. Question number 6. From where does the Amazon River originated? Answer: Amazon River originated from the eastern slope of Andes mountain in Peru. Question number 7. Which is the highest peak in Brazil? Answer: Pico de Nebelina is the highest peak in Brazil. Question number 8. On which coast of India are deltas found? Answer: Deltas are found on the eastern coast of Yamuna of India. Question number 6. Name, list the following main tributaries of river Ganga. Answer: Yamuna, Ramganga, Ghagawa, Gandak, Kosi, Chambal. Question number 2. Tributaries of the rivers Ganga flowing from the peninsular region of India. Chambal, Ken, Beto, Shan. Question number 3. Tributaries of the river Sindhu in India. Satluj, Beas, Ravi, Chamb, Thalim. Question number 4. Rivers flowing into the Gulf of Khambat. Tapi, Narmada, Mahi, Sabarmati. Question number 7. Differentiate between the following. Number 1. Western coastal region of the Indian and eastern coastal region of India. Answer: Western coastal region of India and eastern coastal region of India. Western coastal region of India border the Arabian Sea. Eastern coastal region of India border the Bay of Bengal. Point number 2. Rivers from the stories in western coastal region of India. Rivers from the deltas in the eastern coastal region of India. Number 2. Lakshadweep Island Group and Andaman Nicobar Island Group. Lakshadweep Island. Lakshadweep Island Group is located in the Arabian Sea. Andaman and Nicobar Island Group. Andaman Nicobar Island Group is located in the Bay of Bengal. Point number 2. Island in Lakshadweep Island Group are comparatively short. Point number 2. Island and Andaman and Nicobar Island groups are large in extent and have hilly region. Question number 8. Give a geographical reason for the following. Number 1. There are no west flowing rivers in Brazil. Point number 1. Most of the rivers in Brazil originated from the Brazilian highland. Point number 2. The altitude of the Brazilian highland gradually decreases from the south of the north, from the west of the east. As it is effect, most of the rivers in Brazil flow towards the northern and the eastern direction. Question number 3. The river flowing towards the northern direction meet up the North Atlantic Ocean, and the river flowing towards the eastern direction meet the South Atlantic Ocean. Question number 2. There are the dissimilarities between the eastern coast and the western coast of India. Answer: point number 1. At places, spurs taking off from the western ghats have the extended right up to the western coast, as it effect that the western coast is the rocky in nature. Point number 2. The width of the western coast is comparatively less. Westward flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Seas from the estuaries and not deltas on the western coast. Point number 3. On the other hand, the eastern coast of India is formed due to the dispositional work of rivers. The width of the eastward coast is comparatively more. Most of the eastward flowing rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal from the deltas on the eastern coast. Question number 3. There are favor natural ports on the eastern coast of India. Answer point number 1. The eastern coast of India is formed due to the depositional work of eastward flowing river meeting the Bay of Bengal. Question number 2. Most of the western coast of India is a coast of submergence. On the other hand, eastern coast of India in a coast of emergence. As its effect, the sea is deeper in the west than the sea on the eastern the coast. Point number 3. Westward flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Sea from the east stories at the many places on the western coast. On the other hand, eastward flowing river meeting the Bay of Bengal from the deltas at many places on the eastern coast. Question number 4. As compared to the Amazon, pollution in river Ganga will affect the human life greatly. Point number 1. The density of the population in the Amazon river basin is comparatively low. Point number 2. The number of the industries is also limited in this region, as its effect the level of the western pollution of Amazon river is comparatively low. Point number 3. The density of the population in the Ganga river basin is a comparatively high. Many industries have a flourish in the Ganga river basins, leading to the increased water pollution. Question number 5. Most of the Himalayas rivers are uh, perennial in nature. Answer point number 1. Most of the Himalaya rivers originated in the snow-covered southern heights of the Himalayas range. Point number 2. These rivers are well fed by the rains during this rainy season through the south westerly monsoon winds. Point number 3. These rivers are also fed by the melting of snow during summer. Question number 6. The western coast does not have vast extending plainlands. Answer point number 1. Barren the Gujarat coast. The western coast is mostly a narrow strip of land between the Arabian Sea and the western Ghats. It does not have any vast plain. The Gujarat coast is relatively broader, but it's too his small and narrow coastal plains. Point number 2. The Konkan coast is full of spurs extending from the western Ghats right up to the western coastline. It is a rocky having a no vast plains. Point number 3. The Malabar coast is characterized by sand dunes, lagoons, and backward. It too does not have any fast plains. Question number 9. Write short notes on the following. Number 1. Major water divided of India. Answer point number 1. Himalayas, Aravalli range, Vindhya range, Satapura range, Western Ghats are the major water divided of India. Point number 2. Western Ghats separates the west flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Sea from the east flowing rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. Point number 3. Vindhya range separated the Ganga drainage basins and the Narmada drainage basins. Question number 2. Features of the Pantanal region. Answer number 1. Pantanal is one of the largest wetland in the world. It is characterized by the swamps and marshes. Point number 2. Pantanal is located to the southwest of the Brazilian highland. Point number 3. In Brazil, Pantanal is extended in a state of the Mato Grosso do Sul. Point number 3. Paraguay Parana system. Paraguay and Parana river flow from the southwest region of Brazil. Point number 2. These two rivers flow in a southwest direction in Brazil and meet the river plate in the neighboring countries of Argentina, Point number 3, these two rivers uh, collect their headwaters from the southern slopes of Brazilian highlands. Point number 3, these two rivers from the plains in the southwest region to the Brazil. Question number 4, the characteristics of the Western Ghats. Answer. Point number 1, the Western Ghat is the mountain range that runs north to south parallel to the west coast of the Indian peninsula. Point number 2, it demarcates the western sides of Deccan Plateau. Many peninsulas rivers like the Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri have their source in Western Ghats. Point number 3, the Western Ghats is not a single mountain like a wall. In the including series of the range, at some places it is a region of the very low altitude too. Question number 5, Amazon River Basins. Number 1, Amazon River Basin is the largest plain land to Brazil. It lies in the northern part of Brazil. The slope of Amazon River Basin is to the east. Point number 2, the width of the Amazon River Basin in the maximum, that is nearly 1300 km in the west. Its width is the minimum 240 km, where the Guiana Highlands and the Brazilian Highlands come closer. Point number 3, as the Amazon River approaches at Atlantic Ocean, the width of the Amazon River Basin / plains increases. Question number 6, Himalayas. Point number 1, Himalayas is one of the young old mountain in the world. It is extended from the Pamir North in Tajikistan in the west of east. Himalayas is one of the major mountain system of the continent of Asia. Point number 2, in India, Himalayas extend from the Jammu and Kashmir in the north to the Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast. Himalayas as well as many other parallel mountains range get included in the Himalayas mountain system. Shivalik is the southernmost mountain range of the Himalayas. It is the youngest mountain range of the Himalayas. Point number 3, as we move from the Shivalik range in the south to the north, we come across Lesser Himalayas, Greater Himalayas, and Trans Himalayas ranges respectively. These ranges are young to old respectively. Question number 7, the coast of the Brazil. The coast of the extended of the approximately 7,400 km. It is divided into the northern coastal and the eastern coast. Point number 2, the coast extending from the Amapa provinces in the northern to the Rio Grande do Norte is known as the northern coast / North Atlantic coast. The coast extending from Rio Grande do Norte to the south is known as the eastern coast, South Atlantic Ocean. Point number 3, northern coast is a low-lying region. As the Amazon, it is a many tributaries flow to the northern coast and meet the North Atlantic Ocean. Marajo and Sao Marco Bay lie on this coast. Marajo coastline island lying on the northern coast is located between the mouth of the river Amazon and the river Tocantins. Point number 4, many small rivers flow to the eastern coast and meet the South Atlantic Ocean. Question number 8, the Indian Peninsula. Answer. Point number 1, the Indian Peninsula lies to the south of North India plains. This region tapers towards the Indian Ocean. Point number 2, many plateaus and the hill ranges are included in the Indian Peninsula. The Aravallis range is located in the north of the Indian Peninsula. It is the oldest mountain range in the Indian Peninsula. Point number 3, the Indian Peninsula including a series of plateaus bordering the plains, Maharashtra plateaus, Karnataka, Telangana plateaus, Chota Nagpur plateau, etc. are the main plateau in this region. Question number 9. Lakshadweep Island of India. Answer number 1. Lakshadweep Island is a group of islands of India located in the Arabian Sea. Number 2. Lakshadweep Island are the southwest of mainland of India. They are far away from the western coastline of India. Point number 3. Most of the island in a Lakshadweep are tall. Is island. Number 10. Andaman and Nicobar Island in Island of India. Answer number 1. Andaman and the Nicobar Island are the group of the island of India located in the Bay of Bengal. Point number 2. Andaman and the Nicobar Island are the southeast of the mainland of India. They are far away from the eastern coastline of the India. Number 3. Barren Island from the Andaman and the Nicobar region group is only active volcano in India. Question number 11. The Great Escarpment. Answer. The Great Escarpment is the smallest physiographical region of Brazil from Sao Paulo to Porto Alegre, the highest of the Brazilian highland plateaus, decreases remarkably, leading for the formation of the Great Escarpment. The Great Escarpment demarcates the eastern sides of the Brazilian highland plateaus. Point number 2. The altitude of the Brazilian highland is approximately 790 meters in the region of Great Escarpment. In other region, it is a height decreases gradually. Question number 12. Guiana Highland. Answer. The main region of the Guiana Highland is the Yenzule. Guiana Highland extended from the west to the French Guiana in the east. Guiana Highland is the northern part of the Brazilian. It is spread in the state of the Roraima, Para and Amapa. The point number 3. The region of a comparatively low height of the Guiana Highland is found in Brazil. The highest peak of the Brazil, Pico and the Nebelina, lies on the border between the Brazilian and Venezuela. The height of the peak is nearly 3,014 meters. Question number 13. Island of Brazil. Answer number 1. Besides the mainland, some islands are also included in Brazil. These islands are divided into the coastal island and the marine island. Point number 2. Most of the coastal islands of the Brazil are formed due to the depositional work of the Amazon River and its tributaries. The island near the eastern coast of the Brazil is the South Atlantic Ocean are coral island. These islands are called atolls. Point number 3. Most of the marine islands of the Brazil are rocky. These islands are the top of the submerged mountains. Question number 14. São Francisco River. Point number 1. São Francisco River. Francisco is one of the important river in the Brazil. Its entire basin is within Brazil. Point number 2. São Francisco originated from the eastern slopes of the Brazilian highland and occupies the eastern region of the Brazilian highland. Point number 3. From its origin, for a distance of about 1,000 km, for a São Francisco River flow towards the north over the Brazilian plateau. Then the river takes a sharp eastward turn and enters the coastal strip along that the South Atlantic Ocean. Question number 15. Coastal river of the Brazil. Point number 1. Many rivers flows in the coastal areas of the Brazil. These rivers are of a short length. The coastal areas of the Brazil is densely populated. Therefore, the coastal rivers of the Brazil are of great significance. Point number 2, the coastal rivers like a river Paranaíba and a river Itapecus flows to the north and meet to the North Atlantic Ocean. Point number 3, rivers Paraguay flows to the east and enters the Atlantic Ocean near the Salvage or town. Question number 10. Answer in detail. Explain. Question number 1. What measures are being taken to control the pollution in the river India? Answer point number 1. Controlling the discharge of the human swag into rivers. Point number 2. Applying the sufficient and appropriate pre-treatment to the industrial effluent waste before being discharged to the sewers. Point number 3. Displaying a hoarding informing tourists not to the pollute water of rivers and highlighting the importance of cleanliness. Question number 2. What could be the reason behind the formation of swamp in the extensive continental location of Pantanal? Answer point number 1. Paraguay River and its tributaries flow from the Pantanal region. Point number 2. Pantanal rivers run off from the Brazilian highlands. The sediment brought by the Paraguay rivers and its tributaries get deposited in the low-lying Pantanal region. Point number 4. The sediment and the erosion residents as well as the water remain filled throughout the years in a Pantanal region, leading to the formation of swamps. Question number 3. Differentiate between the physiographical of Brazil and India. Answer point number 1. The physiography of the Brazil is divided into the highlands, the Great Escarpment, the coast region, the plains, and the island group. The physiography of India is divided into the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, and the peninsula, the coastal plains, and the island group. Point number 2. There are no high and low, long extending mountains in Brazil. On the other hand, there are the many high and low extending mountains in India. Point number 3. The Himalayas mountains range extended into the northern part of the India. Similarly, the mountainous regions of the Western Ghats is in the west and the east of the peninsular region of India. Point number 4. The highest range of the altitude is 500 meters, the 1000 meters in Brazil. On the other hand, the highest range of the altitude is 600 meters to 800 meters in India. Point number 5. The western part of the North India plains, the occupied by the desert. On the other hand, no such has desert area lies in Brazil. Question number 4. Explain the characteristic of the northern Indian plains. Answer point number 1. A flat low-lying area is located in the north of the India. This region is known as the North India Plains. Point number 2. The North India Plains lies between the Himalayan mountain in the north and the peninsula in the south. It extends from the state of the Rajasthan and the Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. Point number 3. The North India plains are divided into the 3 parts. Point number 4. The low-lying areas to take east of the Aravallis is known as a Ganga Plains. Its slope to the east. Point number 5. The delta of the Ganga Brahmaputra rivers extended in the state of the West Bengal in India and Bangladesh. This region is known as the Sundarbans. Sundarban is the largest delta region in the world. Point number 6. The plains of the Punjab lies to the north of the Thar Desert. It is located to the west of the Aravallis and Delhi ranges. Question number 5. Explain the characteristic of the highland of the Brazil. Answer number 1. The southern part of the Brazil is occupied by the extensive plateaus. It is known as the Brazilian highland or the Brazilian shield or the Brazilian plateaus. Question number 2. Point number 2. The height of the region to the east and the south Brazilian highland is nearly 1000 meters. In other parts, it is the altitude. It is between 500 meter to 1000 meter. Point number 3. The Brazilian highlands slope to the north. The slopes of the highlands are not very steep. Point number 4. Many rivers are originated and the flow from the northern slopes of the highland of the Brazil. Point number 5. Many tributaries of the Amazon flows through this region. Number 5. Many tributaries of the Amazon flow through this region. Many rapids and the waterfalls are seen in these tributaries. Point number 6. The rivers like the Graguay, Paraguay, and Parana originated from the southern slope of the Brazilian plateaus. These rivers flows from the Brazilian and eastern enter Argentina. Point number 7. The slope towards the east of the Brazilian plateaus is a very steep. These steep slopes of the Brazilian plateau from the Great Escarpment. Question number 6. Explain the characteristic of Amazon basins. Answer number 1. Amazon rivers do not originated in Brazil. It is originated from the eastern slope of the Andes mountain Pero Negro, Japura, Puris, Zingo, etc. are the main tributaries of the Amazon River. Point number 2. Amazon River's basins from the largest plain in the Brazil. It is located in the northern part of the Brazil. Point number 2. Amazon River has a huge discharge of the nearly 2 lakh meter. Due to huge discharge of this sediment brought by the Amazon River not deposited at its mouth. Point number 4. A series of the islands are developed along the mouth of the Amazon River. These islands are located beyond the coastline into the Atlantic Ocean. Question number 7. Explain the coastal region of India. Answer A. The western coastline region. Number 1. The western coastline region of the India border the Arabian Sea. Number 2. The width of the western coastline is comparatively less. Number 3. Westward flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Sea from the east stories are not deltas on the western coast. B. The eastern coastal region. Number 1. The eastern coast of India is formed due to the depositional work of eastward flowing river like Ganga, Kaveri, etc. Number 2. The width of the eastern coast is comparatively more. Point number 3. Due to the gentle slope, the sediments brought by the eastward sloping river is deposited on the eastern coast of India. Question number 11. Can you tell? Textbook page number 16. Study the map of India. Figure 3.1 given on the page number 14 of the textbook and answer the following question. Number 1. In which direction the Aravallis lies? Answer. The slope of the region in the north shown in the dark green is in east direction. Number 2. Aravallis ranges act as water divided between which river? Answer. Aravallis ranges act as a water divided between the many tributaries of the Ganga river, many river, Ganga and Luni, Mai rivers. Question number 3. Name the hills located on the plateau the east of Aravallis. Answer. Vindhya range. Number 2. Satpura range. Question number 4. Across which states has the Deccan Plateau spread? Answer. The Deccan Plateau is spread across the state of Maharashtra, Karnataka and Telangana. Question number 5. Which hill ranges lies to the west of the Deccan Plateau? Answer. Sahyadri Hill Range. Question number 6. Enumerate the characteristic of the Western Ghat. Answer. The Western Ghat is the mountain range that run north to south parallel to the western coast of Indian peninsula. Point number 2. Many peninsulas, rivers like Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri have their source in a Western Ghat. Point number 3. It's demarcates the western side of Deccan Plateau. Question number 7. Compare the eastern and the western Ghat. Answer. Eastern Ghat is to the east to the Deccan Plateau, or the other hand, western Ghat is the west to the Deccan Plateau. Answer number 2. Point number 2. The eastern Ghats run in the southwest northeast direction. On the other hand, western Ghats run in the north south direction. Point number 3. The altitude of eastern Ghat is low. On the other hand, western Ghat is comparatively high. Question number 8. Why are the western Ghats called the water divided? Answer. The western Ghats are called a water divide because they act as a divide between the west flowing rivers meeting the Arabian Sea and east flowing rivers meeting the Bay of Bengal. Question number 12. Mark the following on outline map of India given index. Activity based open ended question. Number 1. Look at the digital elevated model DM of India given question number 6 on page number 24 of the textbook and name the major physiographical division. Answer. Number 1. The Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the Peninsula, coastal plains, island group. Color of both. Figure 3.1 given page number 14 and 3.2 given on page number 15. The textbook shows the physiography of the Indian and the Brazil respectively. Study these figure maps and the indicates and answer the following question. Number 1. In which part do the area with the highest altitude lies on the both the countries respectively? Answer. The region within the altitude of the more than the 6,000 meter lies in the north and the northeast direction in India. Question number 2. In which country is the range of the altitude highest? Answer. The range of the altitude is higher in India. Question number 3. Compare the highest range of the altitude given the both the countries. What difference do you see? Answer. The height range of the altitude is a more than 8,000 meter in India and it is a more than 1,000 meter in Brazil. This shows that the range of the altitude is higher in India and lower in Brazil. Question number 4. In which direction is the slope of the Amazon River Basin's region? Answer. The slope of the Amazon River Basin is the north direction. Number 5. In which direction is the slope of the Deccan Plateau of India? Answer. The slope of the Deccan Plateau of the India is in a west direction. Number 6. Tell the rain shadows in both the countries. Answer. Rain shadows in India is to east of the Western Ghats and the West Aravallis range. The rain shadow in Brazil is the northeast of the East Escarpment. Thank you.